Have you ever, found yourself in the grocery aisle just staring at a block of cheese, wondering is it judging your life? Or maybe, after a really garlicky meal, questioning if your mere presence could clear a room? If so, you're definitely not alone. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're peeling back the layers on fat bites. They come from consumers.app. Specifically, their Consumers 360 news commentary from July 12, 2025. Our mission, well, it's to pull out the really important nuggets of knowledge. We want to help you be truly well-informed, maybe surprise you with some facts, and give you some practical takeaways, too. Okay, so our first culinary adventure takes us into a very cheesy debate. We're looking at a headline from the Times of India on MSN.com. Cheese cubes versus cheese spread versus cheese slices. Which is healthier, and what are the preservatives they contain?
Right. And what's fascinating here, looking at the research consumers.app gathered, is how common certain additives are. We're talking things like sorbic acid, sodium benzoate, potassium sorbate. You see them a lot. Their main job, extending shelf life, stopping mold, which, sounds pretty useful. However, the potential downside is that eating too much of these preservatives has been linked to things like allergic reactions, maybe other health issues too. So I think the key insight here is really moderation. And, trying to choose cheese varieties with fewer additives when you can.
That's a really good point about moderation. But are there other ways cheese is being preserved now? Beyond just adding chemicals. Consumers.app actually highlights some really interesting techniques. Things like modified and vacuum packaging.
Yeah, high-pressure processing, too.
Right, and active and intelligent packaging. These newer methods, they're not just about shelf life, are they?
No, not at all. They offer better safety. They maintain the quality.
And they lean into sustainability and minimal processing, which, wow, that seems to be what everyone's looking for these days. A big shift.
Absolutely. And that kind of leads to an important question, doesn't it? When you're there, staring at the cheese slices, the spreads, the cubes, which one is actually better? The research suggests that cheese slices, especially the ones that are, minimally processed, might be preferable. Why? Well, they often have fewer emulsifiers and stabilizers compared to, say, spreads. And beyond just the ingredients, you should also keep an eye out for things like eco labels or clean labels.
Those labels.
Yeah, they're becoming more influential. They signal products that are seen as healthier, more environmentally friendly. It's like a quick visual cue for you.
Okay, so the takeaway for your next trip down the dairy aisle. Maybe scrutinize those labels a bit more. Look for shorter ingredient lists. Think about how the cheese was processed. Cleaner processing might just be a better choice for you. Right, let's move from the fridge to the plate and explore another really intriguing health idea. This next headline is from the Herald Sun, and it asks, dietary acidity. Is it the secret to weight loss?
Dietary acidity. Well, what's interesting is that recent research, particularly highlighted in places like Frontiers in Nutrition, is looking closely at the link between dietary acidity and chronic inflammation. It seems that a high intake of foods that are acid accumulating is associated with chronic inflammation, and that inflammation in turn can mess with your metabolism, potentially contributing to weight gain. So this suggests that maybe managing your dietary acidity could be pretty important for controlling inflammation and supporting metabolic health.
That's fascinating. So it's not just what we eat, but how our body kind of reacts below the surface. But okay, what about the whole alkaline diet thing then? That's pretty popular.
Yes, the alkaline diet.
It's based on the idea that food can change your body's pH, right?
Well, that's the claim. But honestly, the scientific evidence just doesn't really support it. Diet can't significantly change your body's pH balance or prevent diseases in that way.
Really?
Yeah, it mostly comes from something called the acid ash hypothesis, which frankly doesn't have strong scientific backing.
Okay, but even if the pH thing isn't quite right, could people still feel better eating those alkaline foods? Is there any benefit there?
That's a fair point because, many foods promoted as alkaline are just generally healthy foods, fruits, vegetables. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, your gut microbiota, the bacteria in your gut, play a huge role in managing inflammation and metabolism. An imbalance there, something called dysbiosis.
Right.
Basically, your gut bacteria being out of sync. That's directly linked to inflammatory pathways.
Okay, so the gut connection is key.
Exactly. Research highlighted by consumers.app suggests focusing on things that help your gut. So increase fiber-rich foods, maybe add probiotics, prebiotics. These things promote a healthy gut environment, and that helps manage inflammation, kind of regardless of the whole pH argument.
Got it. So the main takeaway for your plate isn't about pH numbers necessarily. It's more about feeding your gut well. load up on those whole fiber-rich foods. That seems to be where the real impact on inflammation and metabolic health lies. All right, let's switch gears from personal health to pure culinary enjoyment and culture. Our next deep dive takes us to Japan. This headline's from Asia One, Things to Do in Nagoya, a food lover's guide to Japan's underrated metropolis.
Nagoya. Yes. Consumers.app highlighted some really unique aspects of Nagoya's cuisine, which is called Nagoya meshi. It really stands out because of its specific local ingredients and, well, strong flavors. They use a lot of umami, miso, or tamari from that region, the Chubu region. It gives this incredible, deep, rich umami taste.
Yes.
And its signature dishes are fantastic. You've got tebasaki, those amazing chicken.
Oh, I've heard of those.
Kishimen, which are these interesting flat udon noodles, and hitsumabushi, that's a wonderful grilled eel on rice dish. Plus traditional ingredients like the special Nagoya kuchin chicken and lots of fresh shrimp. It's a really distinct regional cuisine.
Okay, now here's something that sounds really interesting, especially if you love cooking or just thinking about food. Consumers.app mentions something called the food bridging hypothesis. What exactly is that? It sounds different from regular food pairing.
It is. It's a fascinating concept. So traditional food pairing often relies on ingredients having similar flavor compounds, right? They match chemically. But food bridging, well, it suggests that ingredients that don't seem to have an obvious connection can still work together beautifully. They're linked through a sort of chain of pairwise affinities. Ingredient A links to B, B links to C, and suddenly A and C taste amazing together, even though they seemed unrelated.
Wow, like a hidden connection.
Exactly. You see it a lot in East Asian cooking, like in Nagoya.
Yeah.
Elements you wouldn't expect, just click, click. And culturally, Nagoya's food has also absorbed influences from elsewhere, Italian, Taiwanese, leading to some unique fusion dishes. Think local takes on spaghetti or Taiwanese noodles.
That idea of unexpected harmony, it really makes you appreciate food on a different level, doesn't it? And thinking about Japanese food generally, there was some research mentioned about health, too.
Yes. High-protein meals, common in traditional Japanese diets, can actually significantly change the profile of amino acids in your blood, even overnight.
So it shows how diet quickly affects body chemistry.
Precisely. Which raises a question for you, the listener. How does knowing about these culinary principles, like food bridging, actually change how you experience food? Does it make you appreciate the art and, well, the science behind a dish more?
Yeah, maybe the takeaway for your next food adventure, or even just dinner tonight, is to look beyond just the main flavors. There's this whole intricate hidden structure that makes food truly remarkable, worth appreciating. Okay, from the exquisite to, well, let's just say the slightly more personal side of food. Our next headline, this one's from Fox News on MSN.com, warns, these 4 common food types could make you smell bad, experts caution.
Right. It's kind of fascinating, chemically speaking, how certain foods lead to body odor. It's about volatile compounds. Consumers.app points out fish, for example. It contains trimethylamine. If your body doesn't break it down properly, well, you can end up with a distinct fishy odor. Then there's garlic. It releases allicin, that sulfur compound. Your body metabolizes it into another sulfur compound, allyl methyl sulfide, and that gets released through sweat and breath. Hence the strong garlic smell.
Unmistakable.
And pungent spices, too, like cumin and curry. They can also release odors through your skin.
I think we've all experienced the garlic effect. It's pretty potent. But wait, Consumers.app also mentioned garlic has loads of health benefits, right? It's not all bad news odor-wise.
Oh, absolutely. Garlic is well known for potentially lowering cholesterol, blood pressure.
Yeah.
It has antimicrobial properties. That very same compound, allicin, that causes the smell. It's also responsible for many of the health perks.
So it's a trade-off then?
Kind of. And interestingly, understanding these specific chemicals involved in food odors is actually helping scientists develop better odor-neutralizing products. Pretty neat application.
It is. Okay, so if we're thinking bigger picture, what can people actually do about food-related body odor besides avoiding garlic before a date?
Well, dietary changes can help. Consumers.app suggests things like increasing fruits and vegetables. They're rich in fiber and antioxidants, which help with detoxification. Maybe reducing red meat, which can produce stronger odors. And of course, drinking plenty of water helps flush things out.
Simple enough.
And here's a really wild connection they mentioned. Research into how odors spread around moving bodies, like fish swimming.
Wait, like actual fish?
Yeah. That research is apparently helping engineers design better autonomous underwater vehicles, AUVs, to improve their ability to detect odors, maybe for tracking pollution or something.
Wow. From body odor to robot submarines. That's unexpected.
Isn't it? So, this raises a question for you. Knowing the science behind food and odor, how might you adjust your diet? Or maybe you just appreciate the clever designs inspired by nature.
Yeah, the takeaway seems to be some foods bring the funk, but often benefits too. So choose wisely. Maybe check your calendar before doubling down on the garlic. Okay, final segment. Let's shift gears completely. We're looking ahead now at the future of wellness and how healthcare is delivered. Our last headline is from the BBC on MSN.com, and it announces new health village plan to meet growing demand.
Yes, the health village concept. It's really quite compelling. Consumers.app describes it as a comprehensive healthcare facility. The idea is to integrate a whole range of services. Think dentists, eye care, maybe autism specialists, even wellness things like hot and cold therapy.
All in one place?
Exactly, all under one roof. The goal is to be a genuine one-stop shop, making things easier for both private and NHS patients here in the UK. Much more convenient. They mentioned examples like Lennox Health Greenwich Village in the US.
That sounds incredibly efficient. I mean, compared to running around to different clinics for everything, what kind of impact could these villages have on the wider healthcare system?
Potentially huge. By centralizing services, you could cut down on multiple clinic visits. That might lower overall costs.
And maybe take some pressure off hospitals.
Precisely. Handling a lot of outpatient needs more efficiently. And consumers.app also brought up the strategic side, proprietary healthcare models. These let organizations really tailor services, manage data securely, and innovate, which is crucial for better care.
Okay, interesting. And looking even bigger picture, is technology playing a role here?
Definitely. Consumers.app mentioned blockchain technology being explored for healthcare systems.
Blockchain, how does that fit in?
Well, it offers a way to share data securely and decentrally. This could tackle those long-standing problems with different healthcare systems not being able to talk to each other easily.
Interoperability. Always a challenge.
Exactly. And integrating wellness services like that hot and cold therapy right alongside medical care, that really pushes towards holistic health, focusing on prevention too. Which leads to a final thought for you. Imagine a future where all your healthcare needs are met smoothly under one roof. How might that actually transform your personal healthcare journey?
It's a powerful idea. So the takeaway for the future of health and wellness seems clear. We're moving towards more convenience, more integration, making healthcare less fragmented and more holistic.
Wow. Well, that was quite the journey today, wasn't it?
It really was.
We went from cheese preservatives, delved into dietary acidity and inflammation,
Explored the amazing food scene in Nagoya,
uncovered the, let's say, a fragrant science of food and body odor.
and finished by looking at these new integrated health villages.
It just shows, doesn't it, how exploring all these different sources gives you such a rounded picture of things. Absolutely. And it makes you wonder, as we see all these advances in food science, health technology, culinary exploration, what else is out there? How many more hidden connections are there between our daily choices and the world around us?
That is a fantastic question to leave folks with. Thank you so much for joining us for another deep dive into knowledge. We really hope you're leaving feeling a bit more informed and definitely more curious.